So here's the condition of the guitar that I got from Mick. It belonged to Sherman, and it's in pretty rough condition. I'll try to give you an idea what it's going to take to put this thing back together. It's got an initial on it, LW. I don't know if you can see that. Can you make that out? LW, I assume that was probably the work of Lyle Warner. And so at some point in time, he may have played this. I also think that this is not the first time this has been taken apart. I've been able to look at enough of it to know that it has a superficial finish on it, which Lyle might have done. I don't know who did it, but it's in pretty rough condition. This is what's called a tailpiece. This is what's called a bridge, and as you can see, this is pretty much handmade. It's not the original. When I took the tailpiece off, this should have been something what's called a floating bridge with a tailpiece. As I took the tailpiece off, I realized that this was not the original bridge, and it originally did not have a floating tailpiece. This was the original bridge. I can tell because it has peg holes in it. So I'll have to make a new bridge for this. The top of the guitar is in pretty good condition. The keys are in fairly good condition. I don't know if you can see that very well, but when I took them off, I've removed all the screws, and as you can see, there's a lot of extra screw holes, and they're kind of wallered out. So I know that those are not, that's not original work. So at some point in time, that's also been remodeled or rehashed by someone not terribly professional or proficient. I also have the nut that was, it's the top of the strings that the strings ride over. It's been turned once, as you can see. It's grooves on two sides of it. It appears to be either bone or ivory, so I'll probably replace that with something antler or bone or whatever I can find. If I could find a small piece of ivory, it would be interesting to do. These are all going to have to be re-drilled and bushed to get them back to the original condition. I've put the clamps on there because I took the liberty first to take the back off to see what was how much damage there was. But you can see the damage to the back of the guitar is coming apart. There's quite a bit of damage to the back. If I take off the clamps, I'll show you what's inside the back. As you remove the back, you can see the inside, and here's more evidence of that damage. You can see pretty obviously what's gone wrong here. This base block was in here, but as you can see, it was broken in half. So I've removed it. All of this stuff together is put together with animal hide glue. So with some careful prying and scraping, I've managed to get those things out. Some of the bracing, all of this bracing appears to be solid, with the exception of this one repair here. I'll probably have to take this out and replace this bracing. But similar bracing is also supposed to be on the back, and you see there's none there. You can barely see the faint lines where it may have been. I got these also. These came with it. These are supposedly would have been the bracing that came off. Some of them appear to be the correct ones. I don't know that they all are the right ones. These appear to be too short, so I'm probably going to have to remake this bracing. And of course, all of this stuff is going to have to be cleaned off before I can re-glue the back to the base of the guitar. I'll try to keep you updated as I make progress. I'm going to have to make certain tools, clamps and things to try to put this thing back together. The front, I don't know if you can see this, but the front, if you can, I can see it from my perspective. This is concave. This is bowed down in, so this will have to be pushed back out with those braces. With these braces, and since they're not put on correctly, I have to take them off and put them back on correctly. But this was nailed on, so you can see a lot of damage here. In addition to that, I've tried to take some of the finish off to see what it would have looked like. This appears to be near normal, what it would have been, and it's probably spruce. Lyle or someone prior to him shellacked this with a dark stained shellac. That's why it's such a dark color, but I've taken denatured alcohol and rubbed some of that off. It comes off fairly well. So I'm going to bleach this and try to get it back to this natural color before we tone it back down to the original. As you can see, the sound hole has a colored trim around it. It appears to be intact. I've tried to strip the paint, strip the varnish and shellac away from that. Along with on the back, I can see there was a staining underneath of the darkened shellac. So I've taken darkened shellac off, and this is probably the natural color. So I'll probably try to keep that natural, but make the top light like it was from the beginning, but that's going to require some bleaching. I've been doing some research on what it takes to bleach that as well. The frets are extremely worn. They're almost flush in the middle, and they're high on the ends, which means they're heavily worn. There's a couple that are actually missing. There's one missing here, and there's one missing here. So we'll have to do my best to try to get this all stripped down, cleaned up first, and put back together so that we can see. I'd like to try to make it playable. Done a lot of research on the correct strings and everything. So hopefully if we can put this back together, we'll try to make it play. There's no sign of any manufacturer, brand name, date, anything like that. I'm certain it was made prior to 30s because Lyle had it, and I think Dad was born in 1918, so Sherman had to be, I believe, was in his 30s at that time. So if he was in his 20s when he played in the band, and I'll try to forward a picture of him in the band. I have a photo of that with him supposedly holding this guitar. So that would have put the age of the guitar probably around the turn of the century, maybe even before. I can't tell. The only evidence that I've found is that on the keys, this is some kind of, I don't know if this could be called plastic. I haven't determined what they're made out of, but of course plastic was extremely rare at the turn of the century. So this may have been some kind of a bakelite resin of some sort. I don't know, but we'll try to find that out. I've noticed that some of them are split open, damaged on the shaft, so I may have to replace these. If I do, try to find a piece of ebony, maybe a piano key or something. If anybody can give me an idea where I might locate a small piece of ebony, I'll need to make 6 of these. But at any rate, these were chrome plated, and I'll try to have these all polished up as well. So hopefully over the next few months, I'll post you with another video of how this is going. More later.